Hello, my name is Jason Lowry.
And I'm Mark Tody.
And this is the Parkland Podcast.
Yes.
It's the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. It's the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. They got plenty to say. They got plenty of heart. On the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. It's the Parkland Podcast. Yeah, the Parkland Podcast. It's the Parkland Podcast. Yeah, the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. Jason and Mark.
Episode number 41. We're starting to become middle-aged.
I became middle-aged about half a century ago, but that's beside the point.
Well, doing the math, that's not far at all.
No, it's really not.
What do you consider middle-aged? Do you have like a number? I mean, obviously it changes as the older you get, right?
I figure 35 to 40 you start, but I'm way past that, so I try not to think about it. I just take each day as a blessing.
Absolutely. I remember like my aunt turned 50 whenever I was like 10. And that just seemed so monumental to me.
Dude, I remember when I joined the Navy at 19 and I thought about making it a career, and I thought, I can't even imagine what it would be like to be 39 years old.
39, and
now I'm almost 30 years past 39, so I don't even want to think about it.
This episode is coming up in this episode, we're going to visit with Park Hills Alderman and mayoral candidate David Easter. We're also going to talk to the organizers of the Autos for Autism event that is coming up. Joanne Watts and Chris Morrison will join us from the CASA house, and we have news, events, sports, all kinds of things happening on the Parkland Podcast. Brought to you by Parkland Pharmacy, Discover Farmington, Save a Lot of the Lead Belt, Heimberger Construction, Hearing Care Partners, and Booz & Bark Carpet. We are getting so close to Election Day on April 8th. And, of course, our election night coverage will be presented by Mac Tech and Sonia Wilson.
Hi, Sonia.
With Triple Creek Realty. So we have those sponsors. There's still sponsorships available. I mean, I would think that you want to get your business out there on a night that so many people will be watching live, anticipating, trying to find out who the next mayor of Farmington will be, if Stacey Easter will retain it in Park Hills, if Pete Pasternak holds on in Deloge. So much happening.
And that school bond issue.
Oh, yeah. I keep hearing about that everywhere I go.
Yes.
So that all will be decided. And, of course, tune in to Facebook Live on the Parkland Podcast Facebook page on election night, and you'll be able to follow along. Speaking of the Facebook page, we have a giveaway coming up this week. It's brought to you by Discover Farmington, and we have some really cool tickets for a big show coming up, Mark.
Bluegrass tickets, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, this will be for the Farmington Bluegrass Series, Barnum Jack, and these are for the Friday night show, April 26th. Oh, wow. And then we have Wolf Creek. We have tickets to that show, which will be on May 16th. So we'll give away the Barnum Jack ones this week, and we'll hold on to Wolf Creek for a later time.
Big week this past week. Spring officially arrived.
It did?
Very happy to hear about that.
Yeah.
And then the NCAA basketball tournament kicked off this past week, and within 14 minutes of it kicking off, papers were being shredded everywhere as brackets were busted.
I had Mizzou and Kansas in the Elite Eight. Or Sweet 16, whatever round they would have met.
How'd that turn out for
No, they both lost.
Yeah.
Opening round. Oh, that Mizzou one hurt too, man, because I really thought this was the year.
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
No? Two up and down?
I thought that the Mizzou team of January could have competed and gone to like the
true.
Sweet 16, but they faded fast down the stretch.
Yeah.
And you could just see it coming.
Yeah.
And Kansas hasn't been good all year long.
I know.
By their standards. Sorry, Chad Speaker.
Yeah, no doubt, Chad. I just wanted to see that in the tournament. I guess I was more picking for what I wanted to see as opposed to what I thought would win.
History, nostalgia, yes.
So besides all that, what else did you do this week? Anything fun?
We had first I got to give a shout out to Lance Smith, works at the AT&T store.
Oh, yeah.
I switched my TV over from AT&T Uverse to DirecTV Stream, and he worked with me on it. I also added internet at my house. I've never had that before.
Oh, wow. We can start doing the podcast remotely now.
Yes, we can.
Wow.
So I did all that, and somehow adding things, I got my bill reduced by $35 a month.
Isn't that
And
crazy?
that's all with Lance's help. And he also got me qualified for a couple of gift cards, rewards cards, totaling $250. So I got to give him a major shout out. If you ever go to the AT&T store, you need work done, ask for Lance Smith.
Which store is he at?
He's at the Farmington location right there in the Walmart shopping center. And we did a penny drive. We organized a penny drive at St. Paul Elementary School. Congrats to the kids at St. Paul. They raised over $1,700 in a week for the Parkland Pregnancy Resource Center. I was one of the counters, and I got a firsthand reminder of just how dirty money is.
Oh, man, is it? Especially pennies.
Oh, pennies, quarters, nickels, dimes, dollars. My hands were so black every day this week. I couldn't wait to get done.
I did a lot of money counting this week, helping out with the concession stand at the Addams Family, the musical.
Yep.
I learned really quickly that teenagers do not know how to count money and or give change. So
That is true, too, yes.
so I had to step in and do that. And I let them dig down in the coolers and get the soda out. So it was a pretty good trade.
Yeah, I'd rather count money than have my hands cold. My hands get cold all the time.
Yeah. But then we had the annual lip dub video at Farmington High School this past week. And that's a lip dub was kind of a trend on TikTok a few years ago where you lip sync songs. And I think a school somewhere decided to do it through their halls. And Farmington saw that and said, yes, let's do that. Kind of a way to get everybody excited, get the whole student body together. And a lot of work went into putting that on, and the kids did fantastic. My crew was great. They were working so hard and getting so sweaty. And then all the seniors that had the songs did such a good job. There were some funny moments. A couple times people fell during practice, but fortunately that didn't happen on any of the takes. And you can check that out on the BKTV YouTube Studios video and check it out. I think we posted it Friday afternoon, and I checked it like at 4 o'clock when I got home, and it had, I think, over 1,000 views at that point. So
Nice.
All the kids were excited to see what they did. Got any music trivia?
I've got trivia as a whole.
Trivia as a whole, okay.
I came across this, and it just blew my mind. Maybe the greatest game ever played. If I was going to tell you one person who had the greatest game ever played, who do you think it would be?
What sport?
Basketball.
Basketball. The greatest game ever played? Oh, my. With that,
put my glasses on.
put your glasses on for this. Would it be that 100-point game by Wilt Chamberlain?
Even better.
Okay.
Even better. But it was Wilt Chamberlain. You are correct about that. See if I can find all this. He had 53 points. He had 32 rebounds, 20-some-odd blocks shots. Here it is. 53 points, 32 rebounds, 14 assists, 24 blocks, and 11 steals in one game.
Oh, my gosh.
The only quintuple double in the history of basketball, and it was in March of 1962.
Wow.
Pretty interesting.
That is cool.
All right. 5 musicians are listed as billionaires by Forbes magazine.
Ooh.
How many of the 5 can you name?
And these are living, or are these like estates?
Living.
Okay, these are the living people. So Paul McCartney's in there, right?
Nope.
Oh, that's right. He sold his stuff to Michael Jackson.
Yep.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor's one.
Okay. Who else has done well with their music catalog?
One guy is no longer with us, I can tell you that much.
Okay, one guy is no longer with us.
But you won't guess him anyway.
Oh, okay. Golly.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead and give him.
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, okay, I know him.
Rihanna.
Yes.
This one kind of surprised me. Bruce Springsteen.
Okay, yeah.
And last but not least, Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett?
Yeah,
wow.
Jimmy Buffett. All right. Songs made hits by one artist that were actually written by another artist.
Okay.
Nothing Compares to You and Manic Monday.
Those were both written by Prince.
Very good. Very good. I'm a Believer, The Monkees. Solitary Man from Johnny Cash, written by
Oh, I'm a Believer. Is it Carole King?
Neil Diamond.
Neil Diamond. Oh, good one.
All right. 1982 top singles. I will give you the top 5.
Okay.
And you tell me which one was number 1 of those.
Okay.
Okay. You have Joan Jett, I Love Rock and Roll, Ebony and Ivory, Centerfold, Eye of the Tiger, and Physical.
Oh, my.
Of those 5, what was the number 1 song of 1982?
Oh, the number 1 song of 19. I'm going to say Ebony and Ivory just because it was Michael Jackson, Paul McCartney.
I would have thought that too. That was number 4.
Ooh.
Actually, I would have gone the song that was number 2, Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah.
Because it was in the Rocky movie.
Right.
But Physical from Olivia
Newton-John. Yes.
Was number 1. So.
And if you went back and looked at all the downloads, well, I don't know. I bet you that would be 4th. Because
Yeah.
Eye of the Tiger and Hit Me With Your Best Shot have aged very well.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you know the story behind that song? The Eye of the Tiger?
Maybe.
Maybe. So when they were making Rocky 2, which that song is in,
Yeah, they really wanted a different song.
they wanted another one,
Queen.
Bites the Dust by Queen.
Yes. Yeah.
And so
Queen
they
said
went.
They wanted no part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they went to Survivor and said, write us a song like Another One Bites the Dust. And that's what they came up with was Eye of the Tiger.
And I believe that the guy that wrote that song was in another band too, but I'd have to look it up. Okay, 2 more interesting things that I found out. Elon Musk was offering a trip to Mars as part of a March Madness bracket challenge. You had to get every single one right. So
Yeah.
I think he was pretty safe there. And the winner of Warren Buffett's March Madness pool could get $1 million a year for life.
Oh, wow.
But again, you got to get everything right.
Yeah.
So Warren didn't get to be a billionaire by mistake.
There you go.
So there you go. Interesting thing.
Yeah, very interesting. Do you have a totally awesome radio story? I did not ask you before we started recording, so.
Well, I don't know if I told this one or not, but it
Okay.
concerns longtime engineer at J98 Radio, Kevin Brooks. And the first month I worked there,
Okay.
we had problems at Stono Mountain. We were off the air, which are pretty big problems to have for a radio station. So Kevin goes, I need you to go up there and help me. So myself, Jack Sadler, and Kevin all went up there. And as you know, and many people know, Kevin is a super great guy.
He is.
But Kevin also has a quick temper.
He does.
And he started getting really frustrated with things when they weren't going exactly right. And he picked up this big, huge piece of coax. It was probably this big around.
Yeah.
And it was probably as long as the barn, which is about 20 feet. And he finally blows his top. He picks it up and he throws it. And there is a fence around the transmitter tower at Stono Mountain. He didn't break the fence, but he threw it against the fence, and the fence went all the way down like this, and then popped back up, and it did this, and this. And that was it. And then the thing started working, and he was a happy guy after that. And we ended up coming back home, and we were telling Steve Martin routines to each other on the way home because all 3 of us were Steve Martin fans. But I remember being there young and dumb, 25 years old, seeing Kevin pick up a 200-pound piece of coax and throwing against the fence, breaking the fence, thinking, am I going to die up here on Stono Mountain?
At least there's a nice view.
Yes, it was also 9 o'clock at night, and it was very dark.
Oh, no.
It was a scary moment. I thought I was on Stono Mountain with a psycho killer.
Now, probably his most infamous story. I don't know if you were there or not. Were you there when he threw the computer out the window?
Oh yeah. I was an eyewitness to that. And then there was also the time that he And one of our coworkers, we were all supposed to bring something in for a dinner, and Kevin decided he was going to bring in corn. Unbeknownst to him, somebody else had brought in corn, and let's just say he wasn't happy with the fact that somebody else brought in corn along with him.
Oh, I've never heard this one.
Oh, did he blow his top?
Oh, Kevin.
Boy, did he blow his top. And he went storming out of the building. And, of course, like he always does, he came back in 45 minutes later, and he was all apologetic and
Right,
nice
yeah.
and friendly. But he did not like the fact that Miss Connie had brought in along with him. Poor Connie.
He had to go up to the mountain and throw the coax again.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
There you go. Another Kevin Brooks story, a totally awesome radio story. We welcome to the Parkland podcast one of our newest sponsors, Hearing Care Partners. Dr. Karen Melton and the great staff there ready to take care of you. And Mark, they have a lot of great ways to improve your, not just your hearing, but your quality of life.
Quality of life for sure. Some people have hearing problems that are so gradual and coming on, you don't even realize that you have them. And that's where Karen Melton and her staff can take care of you. They are wonderful people to deal with. I've been in their business in Farmington on several occasions, and they are awesome. So not only will you get state-of-the-art care for your ears, you'll be treated like you matter, which is a wonderful thing. So Hearing Care Partners, we can definitely recommend them for any of your hearing aid needs or just hearing needs as a whole. Karen Melton and her staff will treat you right.
There's been so many technological advancements recently, and they are right on top of these AirPod Pros that amplify the sound around you. So many neat inventions. They're so small, you don't even notice they're there anymore. And again, the folks at Hearing Care Partners can help find what's best for you and your ears.
They're located at 620 Walton Drive in Farmington. They have several locations. The phone number is 866-757-4327. Check them out at hearingcarepartners.com.
Hearing Care Partners, our newest sponsor on the Parkland podcast. I love Save-A-Lot of the Parkland. In fact, I believe every Saturday when we record the Parkland podcast, I get a text from Save-A-Lot during the show, and you can sign up for those text alerts. There's a super sale going on, and you can take advantage of that at all of your Save-A-Lot locations in the Parkland, Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, and Farmington.
Yeah, I may have to stop by for that. It's a 99 cents produce super sale, but by the time you see this, it'll be gone. So you need to sign up for these specials. That's the thing. Sign up for these specials when you stop in at your local Save-A-Lot store so you can be aware when this exactly happens. And stop by, man. The store is clean. The people are awesome to deal with. The butchers cut the meat fresh every day. And you feel like you're shopping in your own hometown supermarket.
I went there a couple weeks ago, and they, the 5 for $24.99. That day it was 6 for $24.99. So I got like extra meat.
Steal.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are the kind of specials you could see every day. But again, sign up for those text alerts, and you can do that by hopping on their Facebook page. Save-A-Lot of the Lead Belts. They'll walk you through that, or the next time you're in the store, you can take care of that as well. Save-A-Lots at the Parkland, Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, and Farmington. This is your news segment here on the Parkland Podcast.
Weather wreaked havoc on the area this past week and a half. Not only did we have tornadoes throughout the area, we also had wildfires breaking out in St. Francis, Washington, Iron, and Reynolds County, leading to hundreds of acres being burnt and some evacuations. High winds continue to play a big part in our weather forecast as spring arrives.
Cleanup continues from the March 14th tornado outbreak in Missouri. The National Weather Service has confirmed that an EF3 tornado hit Iron County near Des Arc, and EF2 tornadoes hit both Perry and Jefferson County. Wind speeds with all of these tornadoes were over 100 miles per hour. As many as 27 school districts received damage during the event, including buildings in Hillsboro, Perryville, South Iron, and Poplar Bluff.
Arrests have been made concerning a series of burglaries that started late last year in the Bismarck area. According to the St. Francis County Sheriff's Department, Christopher Pollard and Madeline Carmack have been arrested and charged with second-degree burglary.
Water rates are going up in the city of Bonne Terre. At this week's Board of Alderpersons meeting, the council approved a 10% increase starting in June. The increase was necessary to meet the city's bond obligations. The increase is one of three the council made over a 4-year period to catch up with state guidelines. Also at the meeting, spring cleanups was set for April 7th through the 11th, and the annual Bonne Terre Baseball Parade will be held on May 31st.
The city of Farmington's website experienced a hack this past week. According to a news release from the city, a suspicious video and text was posted to the website around 7:45 Thursday evening. The suspicious media is believed to have been added due to a hack at the city's website hosting company, Munition. In an email to the city, a Munition representative said the video was the result of a hack. The images and message of the suspicious media do not reflect the beliefs and values of the city of Farmington, and they do apologize.
The Farmington Public Library partnering with local organizations to participate in Citizen Science Month this April. The goal of Citizen Science Month is to complete 1 million acts of science worldwide. The Farmington Public Library will provide resources for Farmington area residents to connect to a variety of projects and can be completed locally. Starting on April 1st, the library will have resources on display to allow patrons to explore the idea of citizen science and learn how to get involved. On April 8th, the library will host an open house from 6 to 8 p.m. to highlight projects with local community partners. Included in the open house will be representatives from St. Francis County 4-H, the Farmington Community Garden, the Missouri Department of Conservation, the East Ozark Audubon Society, and Wild Ones Southeast Missouri. And that is your news on the Parkland Podcast. Parkland Pharmacy, local pharmacy at its finest. Deloge, Farmington, Fredericktown, Ironton, Piedmont, Greenville, customer service. They know how to help you navigate the challenging world of medicine and healthcare. And boy, they just do such a great job.
They are wonderful people to deal with. I know when I go in there to get my prescriptions filled, I'm always greeted by a smile, whether it's Julie, whether it's Carrie, whether it's Ruthie. It doesn't really say, I know them all by name.
You do.
They're just so fun to deal with, and I feel like I'm mattered. I'm not just another customer when I go to Parkland Pharmacy. I go to the Farmington store. I know you go to the one in Deloge. They have locations throughout Southeast Missouri, and customer service is their number one priority.
And delivery, too. And I know those delivery drivers were going above and beyond when we had all that bad weather.
Yes, they did.
Kudos to them. And again, just another example of the great service you always get at Parkland Pharmacy. Heimberger Construction, HeimbergerConstruction.com. They have been building beautiful buildings in our area since 1978, Mark Tody, and they have those Butler buildings.
The Butler buildings are the best metal building system on the market, and the only buildings that have a pre-punched roof system and standard 360-degree roof seam for their standing seam roof. Jennifer Heimberger, who runs Heimberger Construction, does a fabulous job, and she really cares about the area. She gets involved in a whole lot of things in the community. I know she's supporting a Little League baseball team. That's one of her current things, which is just really awesome. So Jennifer, she's been to a couple of Kansas City Chiefs football games, which makes me really jealous.
Yeah, and I feel really bad for her. I hope she's gotten over the loss.
She's still a little bitter, but aren't we all?
Exactly. Anyways, HeimbergerConstruction.com. Check out the beautiful work they've done, not only around the Parkland, but around the region. HeimbergerConstruction.com, 431-4387. Here are your events. They're presented by Discover Farmington, more than you ever imagined. Discover Farmington Mo allows you to find out more about entertainment, dining, outdoor activities, wineries, and more.
Farmington, Missouri, your destination for a perfect weekend getaway. Dine in at one of our quality restaurants or visit one of our surrounding wineries. Farmington offers a variety of parks and other recreational leisure time activities. See some sights, have some fun, and go wherever your heart takes you. Sounds like a lot of fun, so get a room and stay a while. All this and more awaits you just 60 miles south of St. Louis. Discover Farmington today.
Mom's Cafe at the Methodist Church in Farmington will be opening up and offering up another free meal this Wednesday.
It's the Lenten fish fry season at your local Catholic churches. Oh, man, it's so good. And it's going through Friday, April 11th. St. Joe's in Farmington, 4 to 7. Immaculate Conception in Park Hills, 4 to 6.
The Story Tour, a night of encouragement, hope, and restoration, is March 27th at the Centene Center in Farmington.
The Celebration of Success Awards Banquet presented by the Farmington Regional Chamber of Commerce is March 28th, 6 o'clock at the Mac Tech Center.
Also on March 28th, there's a trivia night for the Southeast Missouri Family Violence Council at 7 o'clock at St. Paul Elementary School Gym in Farmington.
Get ready for an all-you-can-eat pancake breakfast at the Farmington Church of the Nazarene. That's March 29th from 7 to 11 a.m.
The spring hiring event with over 50 employers, April 2nd from noon to 4 at the Mac Tech Center.
The Park Hills Meet the Candidates Forum, presented by the Park Hills Leadington Chamber of Commerce, is Thursday, April 3rd, 6 o'clock at the Central High School Auditorium.
There's going to be a breakfast with the Easter Bunny April 5th at White Magnolia Banquet Hall in Leadington, starting at 9. Pictures with the Easter Bunny available. Proceeds go to Feed My Sheep.
The History of Country Music is Saturday, April 5th. They have 2 shows, one at 2, one at 7, and that happens at the Centene Center, and tickets are available.
Opening day for the Farmington Empire Speedway, formerly the St. Francis County Raceway, April 5th.
Trivia night also on April 5th, 6 o'clock, First United Methodist Church in Park Hills. That, too, is a fundraiser for Feed My Sheep.
Babylon About Broadway, Decades Musical Review, April 11th, 12th, and 13th at Long Hall.
More Than Just a Man, the musical at the First Baptist Church in Farmington. That's on North A Street. That's at 7:30 on April 11th, 12th, and 13th.
Call in your order now for a Good Friday Farmington Senior Center Cinnamon Roll fundraiser, 18 per dozen, 8 for a box of 4. Call Ursula, 756-1376 to reserve your order.
It will be worth it, trust me. And the Farmington Bluegrass Concert Series continues, featuring Barnum Jack. That'll be on April 25th at 7 o'clock at Long Hall. And make sure you check our Facebook page this week to win free tickets to that show.
And Elvis Meets the Beatles, April 26, 7 p.m. at the Centene Center in Farmington. Tickets are $20 in advance, $30 at the door.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Those are your events. They are powered by Discover Farmington. Find out about local events. Even book a wedding or day trip at discoverfarmingtonmo.com. Want to thank Booz & Bark Carpet, Flooring, and Granite for sponsoring the Parkland podcast. That is the number one name in our region when it comes to flooring, comes to countertops, when it comes to trailer sales. The website is boozandbarkflooring.com. And Mark, they make it pretty easy even for a guy your age to navigate.
Even a guy like me. The beauty of what they do is you can go in and shop. If you're the kind of person that likes to look at what you're shopping for, you can go in and they'd love to talk to you. But you can also do everything through the comfort of your own home through the online process, which makes it real easy as well.
It sure does. But if you want to get in there, you want to see it, you want to feel it, you want to get a good idea of how it's going to look in your house. I mean, spring is coming. Oh, spring, please get here soon. Soon. And you're going to want that new flooring. You're going to want your house to look its best. It's a great investment. So why not talk to the name that's the best in the area? And that's Booz & Bark Carpet, located on Highway 67. Wave at us when you see us on the billboard.
Do you often ask others to repeat themselves? Is the TV volume creeping up higher? Hi, I'm Dr. Karen Melton, and it could be time to have your hearing checked. Hearing loss happens gradually, making it hard to notice. At Hearing Care Partners, we offer thorough hearing evaluations that uncover even subtle changes in your hearing over time. Early detection can improve your hearing and your life. Start prioritizing your hearing today. Schedule your appointment now at hearingcarepartners.com. At Hearing Care Partners, we listen so you can hear.
Here's your birthdays from the Parkland podcast for the week of Monday, March 24th. Who do you have for birthdays, Mark Toady?
Hey, real quick, before we get to our birthdays,
yes.
I want to send a shout out to Paul and Ashley Grindstaff. They helped to organize the ball for their Living Well project this past weekend, and they raised roughly $80,000 to help build fresh drinking water wells. And it was just a fabulous night, and they are wonderful people with great hearts. So congratulations, Paul and Ashley. And the birthday I have for Monday is Hubert Morris. He is married to Jackie, who we wished a happy birthday to last week, the former MAC volleyball coach. So Hubert, happy birthday. It's your turn, buddy.
All right. For Monday, March 24th, I have Emily Barnhouse celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday to Emily. Adam Miller. Adam did a Country Days video about 10 years ago, maybe a little sooner than that, and I watched it, and then I reached out. I was like, who is this dude? And then I had him come talk to my class, and he's awesome. Great filmmaker in the Cape Perryville area. Happy birthday, Adam. Appreciate you. Donna Bergner, longtime employee of the Daily Journal. Donna did does she still work there?
Yeah, I don't know.
But Donna was a great employee there for a long time. Happy birthday, Donna. And Dorothy Adams celebrating a birthday on Monday. Happy birthday, Dorothy. What about Tuesday, March 25th?
Tuesday, my buddy Cragen McBride celebrates a birthday. When he was just a little squirt, he lived right across the street from me, and now he's like about 6'4". So he's no longer a little squirt. He's a big squirt. Yeah, happy birthday to you, Cragen. Garrett Boatwright celebrates a birthday on Tuesday. Happy birthday, Garrett, former member of the Farmington City Council. I think he works at First State Community Bank now.
Probably helps out Dad at Diamonds and More a little bit from time to time, too.
Probably so, whenever he needs it. And Jay Sheets.
Jay,
buddy, happy birthday to you. Still living off the glory of America's Biggest Loser.
Yes.
Hey, but you're not a loser, Jay.
That's right.
You're a winner. Happy birthday to you, buddy.
I have his son Colton in class this year, and he's great.
And we've both interviewed his wife, Julie, before.
Absolutely. Julie's awesome as well. And I heard Big Brother's pretty good, too. He was in BKTV before I got there. So happy birthday, Jay. Have a great one. Mark Brockus. This came to us from our TikTok page. Yes, make sure that if you have birthdays, messages through Facebook or TikTok, and that's what friends of Mark Brockus did. And Mark, happy birthday to you. One of my current students in BKTV, Caden McBride. Caden is fantastic. He did such a great job this week. Happy birthday, sir. Michael Barton. Remember Michael? He ran for the commissioner position against David Cater. I don't know. He's done stuff with the Bismarck Chamber for many, many years. Happy birthday, Michael. And Mandy Little celebrating a birthday on Tuesday as well. Happy birthday to Mandy. What about Wednesday, March 26th?
Ashley Reed celebrates a birthday on Wednesday. Ashley was a pretty faithful listener to the morning show on J98 back in the day, and she is a sweetheart. Got to know her when she worked at the Farmington Civic Center. I go to church with her parents, so happy birthday to you, Ashley. I hope you're doing great. Kelly Roberts, happy birthday to you. Remember Cheers?
Yes.
The Kelly song? Kelly. That was from Woody. That was his song to his fiancée, Kelly.
What a great character Woody was.
Yes, he was. Kelly Roberts, happy birthday to you from your husband and all your family. Ashley Simmons celebrates a birthday. Ashley Bales Simmons. She was at one point the Azalea Queen in Fredericktown. I was one of the judges that year, and Ashley and I have kept in touch over the years. She's now a financial investor. Happy birthday to you. Tanya Hiring, happy birthday to you. She is the sister of Tim Azinger, who was the longtime director of the Life Center for Independent Living, and she is a sweetheart. Happy birthday to you, Tanya. Our good buddy, Jerry Freeman.
Jerry
celebrates a birthday. Jerry, my wish for you is good health, buddy. I hope you are doing fantastic. Denise Penberthy, I see her work out at the Civic Center all the time. She is a lean, mean workout machine. And my buddy, Brian Oster, celebrates a birthday. I saw him this past Friday at the Farmington Elks Lodge. One of the great nicknames of all time. His nickname is Rooster.
Rooster.
Nobody knows Brian Oster. Who the heck?
I know.
Oh, Rooster. Yeah. Happy birthday, Rooster. Hope you're doing great.
In addition to Jerry, who I also want to thank him for all the great lemonades he made for me when he was in charge of the concession stand at Wilson Rosia
Always
Park.
brought us a hamburger or a hot dog.
Yeah. Those lemonade, though, man, it was so good. Happy birthday, Jerry. Hope it's a great one. Dan Mayberry, a dude I went to school with all the way through at North County, celebrates a birthday on Wednesday. Happy birthday to Dan. We got a ton of birthdays for Thursday, March 27th.
Yes, we do. Tim Womble celebrates a birthday, and I bring him up because he was the owner of one of my all-time favorite restaurants that unfortunately is no longer open, Mario's Italia.
Oh, yeah.
They were in Bonne Terre, and then they moved to Farmington. And Tim, I'll tell you what, that Italian sub, I could not get enough of it. The pizza was great. The lasagna was delicious. All your food was great. Would you hurry up and open up another restaurant, please? Happy birthday to you in the meantime. Sue Morton, she is the owner of Data Dash at the Farmington Industrial Park. Sue, happy birthday to you. I hope you are doing great. Curtis Walter, financial investor extraordinaire. Happy birthday wishes to you, buddy, from your kids. Ruth Flanagan, got to know her when she worked at the Farmington Civic Center. I see her every now and then. Her and Martha Bourne like to go to the gambling boats, and they both won over $1,000 not too long ago.
Wow.
So good to be Ruth Flanagan.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Larry Kinnan, former mayor of Leadington,
Yes.
I believe, and a lot of other endeavors. He was a real estate agent and more. Happy birthday to you. And Mindy Southern. We love Mindy Southern. She did her job for Farmington. I don't know what her official title is, but when she put on social media all those Valentine's Day sweetheart stories of people who met in high school at Farmington, I read every single one of them. They were awesome.
They were. She's an amazing worker, and I kind of get to see a little bit more of what she does, and I don't know how she did what she does now and taught BKTV for those years. It just blows me away. And again, she's done a fantastic job with the Farmington schools. How about Caroline Drake? Caroline, longtime teacher in the Bismarck school. I believe she's the home ec teacher at Bismarck, and just does a fantastic job. Happy birthday to her. Scott Griffin Automotive.
Yes.
Beautiful building there, Heimberger Construction building.
Yes, it did.
Scott, very active in the community, does a lot. Happy birthday to you, Scott. Jana Haggerty, I believe she's at the middle school at Farmington, and then she coaches the nightlife dance squad, and then the choreographer for the musicals at Farmington. So she did a great job with Adam's Family, teaching everybody to snap on time.
Da-da-da-da.
So happy birthday, Jana. Hope you're enjoying spring break. Jared Keene. Jared has Keene. I want to say it's Keene Automotive. I hope I'm saying that. Is that right?
I think that's right.
He has that right off of Stormy Lane, and had the drag strip for a while. And then I believe he has sold it, and we'll get a little bit more about that when we talk to the folks from Autos for Autism. But he was a big supporter of that, and the new folks that came in, that was kind of the deal. Like, hey, you got to make sure you keep this cause in. So good job, Jared. Way to go. And John Kraus. You want to wrestle John Kraus?
No,
me neither. He is the safety director for the Farmington School District.
dude, this past summer I was out walking laps at the Farmington Civic Center track, and John was out running laps.
Yeah.
Now, John is well into his 40s.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe 50. I don't know.
I think so. I think
But
he's older than me.
man, he took off his shirt, and it was like, dude, I have more body fat in my navel than he does in his whole body. I was like, memo to self, stay on John's good side. But he's really a super nice guy.
Yeah, he is. He does a lot for the students and keeps everybody safe, man. That's what it's all about. Friday, March 28th, who do you have?
Friday, Holly Brown celebrates a birthday. Holly worked at the West County School District for years and years and years. And what I would call to interview Stacy Stevens or whoever was the superintendent at the time, her voice was the first voice I would hear. And she is a real sweetheart. Holly, hope you're enjoying your retirement. You're way too young to retire, but you did well. Happy birthday to you. Belinda Bain celebrates a birthday. She works for the U.S. Postal Service, but I played volleyball with her and her sister and a couple of other gals. It was a really, really good team. It was Sam Weekly, the school resource officer, me, and 3 really hot chicks. So
I'll have to ask Sam about that.
yeah, that was very good, very good couple of years there.
Yeah.
Lisa Hipsher, happy birthday to you, Lisa. Hope you're doing great. Alan Zarek celebrates a birthday, and the only reason I put Alan in is because he used to work at J98.
Yeah.
He was a pretty good dude.
Yeah, had a
bit
good
of a
voice.
space case, good voice, but a good guy.
A bit of a space
He
case,
was
yeah.
definitely that.
Yeah.
And another guy that I've been buddies with for a long time, and another guy better known by a great nickname, Ronnie Payne, celebrates a birthday Friday. His nickname, Rerun.
Rerun.
He once showed up at a party at a house that I was renting out, a farmhouse I was renting out, pulls open the back of his station wagon, and he has a coffin that he had turned into a cooler. He had a coffin that had about 3.5 cases of beer in it.
Nice.
Yeah, boy, oh boy, we
Rerun.
had fun. We had fun that night. Happy birthday to you, Rerun.
Have a coffin beer.
Yeah.
Friday, I need to wish a happy birthday to my Uncle Walter, Walt Redeker.
Good dude.
Celebrating a birthday on Friday. Love you, buddy. You are the best. Also, happy birthday to North County Choir Director, Alan Rizzo. And she is phenomenal, has that great voice, very proud Bismarck grad, and just does an awesome job with those choirs. Michael Whitaker, he is a junior at Farmington High School, celebrating a birthday. I guess he's 17 now. Happy birthday, Michael. He's done a couple things for the Parkland podcast, too. Came to the Help the Hungry Bake Sale and helped us out a little bit. And then he's very into politics, so he interviewed Chris Morrison, and he's interviewed Mitt Landrum, and he's covering the election and doing a great job. Justin Ferguson, worked with him at KFMO back in the day. I can't remember which branch of the armed services he's in, but he's doing great.
Thank you for your service.
Yes, absolutely. And Chase Sellers, a former student of mine, works at First State Community Bank. Chase is a great guy and great at calling games. We're going to get you back calling some games soon, Chaser. It's going to happen. So happy birthday to you. How about Saturday, March 29th?
Saturday, we mentioned Lance Smith earlier in the podcast. It's his birthday.
Oh, yeah.
On Saturday. This dude saved me a lot of money at the AT&T store. So, Lance, happy birthday to you from your wife, Jenna, from your 2 kids, and from all your family. He's going on vacation to Florida. Have a great trip. Yeah, happy birthday, buddy. And Jessica Coughlin, happy birthday to you. They were her and her husband were at the ball for the Living Well Project, and they go to St. Paul Lutheran Church. So happy birthday, Jessica.
Cool. I just have one birthday for Saturday. That's Megan Robinson. Happy birthday, Megan. Hope it's a great day for you. And then we wrap up the week with Sunday, March 30th.
Oh, yeah. Sid the Kid, Sydney Berghaus, celebrates birthday on Sunday. She is the daughter of Julie Berghaus at Parkland Pharmacy. Sid the Kid, I've known you since you were about 2 years old. Now you're, about 24, 25, which is weird because I didn't think your mom was much older than that. But anyway, Sid, happy birthday to you. I hope you are doing fantastic. Alex King celebrates a birthday. He's married to a gal that used to live like my next door neighbor, Laura Lee Bader. Alex, happy birthday to you, buddy. Hope you're doing great. He's a great guitar player, good musician. And Becca Kelleher, Becca McTurnan, happy birthday to you. She was almost Country Days Queen 1 year, about 15 years ago.
Happy birthday to very well-liked citizen in Farmington, Mr. John Cozine.
One of my favorites.
Absolutely. When he was, I've heard lots of John Cozine stories. Didn't he start a pirate radio station at some point?
He had a pirate radio station, had his own newspaper.
Yeah.
He was a Marine. He's done a little bit of everything.
He was the
Great
editor.
historian.
Yes, and the editor of the Man-Eater at the University of Missouri.
Yep.
And that's a big deal in the world of journalism.
And he was a big St. Louis Rams fan. Too,
Yeah.
back in the day. When I would go to games, I would always see him there.
Absolutely. And he's still, this past football season, I think he made it to every Farmington home game and took pictures. John, what a treasure, and glad you're still with us, and stick around another year. We sure could
Or
use
two.
it. Or 2 or 3 or 4. Heather Metter celebrating a birthday on Sunday. Heather's husband, Jared, is the fire chief in the city of Deloge. And girl I went to high school with, Corinda Brooks, celebrating a birthday on Sunday. Happy birthday, Corinda. Hope it's a great day for you. So there you go. Those are your birthdays for the week of March 24th.
Parkland Pharmacy is out to prove that local independent pharmacy is alive and well. We work hard at giving you an excellent experience every time you come to see us. We love what we do, and we would love to take care of you. There's no need to be frustrated with your health care. If you're tired of what your pharmacy is not doing for you, then stop waiting in line and come see us today. We have 6 locations across Southeast Missouri, so Google us to find the store nearest you or visit parklandrx.com. Parkland Pharmacy is a local pharmacy at its finest.
Want to thank Booz & Bark Carpet, Flooring, and Granite for sponsoring the Parkland podcast. That is the #1 name in our region when it comes to flooring, comes to countertops, when it comes to trailer sales. The website is boozandbarkflooring.com, and Mark, they make it pretty easy, even for a guy your age, to navigate.
Even a guy like me. The beauty of what they do is you can go in and shop. If you're the kind of person that likes to look at what you're shopping for, you can go in and they'd love to talk to you. But you can also do everything through the comfort of your own home through the online process, which makes it real easy as well.
It sure does. But if you want to get in there, you want to see it, you want to feel it, you want to get a good idea of how it's going to look in your house. I mean, spring is coming. Oh, spring, please get here soon. Soon. And you're going to want that new flooring. You're going to want your house to look its best. It's a great investment. So why not talk to the name that's the best in the area? And that's Booz & Bark Carpet, located on Highway 67. Wave at us when you see us on the billboard.
In sports, the Potosi Trojans are the 4th best team in the state in Class 4. The boys fell in their semifinal game against the Vashon Wolverines 90-30 and lost to Logan Rogersville 54-36. In the 3rd place game at Mizzou Arena, the Trojans finished their historic season with a record of 24 wins and 6 losses. So, spring sports begin this week. On Thursday, a couple of baseball games. Valley Catholic edges Fredericktown 4-3, and Bismarck gets by Bourbon. Then Friday, the whole gauntlet with all the sports rolling on the high school level. Baseball scores. Rockwood Summit shuts out Farmington. These are all from Friday. Saxony Lutheran shutting out Fredericktown. Valley Catholic beats Caruthersville. Bismarck will win over Oak Ridge. Duchesne gets by Central. Warrenton also defeats Central. Then the West County, North County Invitational sees the Raiders take a pair, beating Jefferson and South Iron. South Iron and Jefferson would tie in that game. And then West County, Notre Dame would tie. The Bulldogs would get a 16-1 win over Kingston, and Notre Dame shuts out Kingston as well. Softball scores from Friday. Bismarck a winner over Ellington. Woodland beats Arcadia Valley, and St. Genevieve falls to Mayflower, Arkansas. Girls soccer, Poplar Bluff shutting out North County. Saxony Lutheran shuts out Farmington. And in the Kelly tournament, Fredericktown gets past Kelly. Here's a boys tennis score from Friday as well. Cape Notre Dame getting by North County 5-4. Now some Saturday scores. Notre Dame beats North County. West County a win over Jefferson. St. Charles shuts out Central. Greenville defeats Arcadia Valley. Then the Tigers would come back and beat Lesterville. St. Genevieve gets past Orchard Farm, then falls to Hillsboro. Valley Catholic would beat Hillsboro and Orchard Farm. Softball, Bismarck a winner over Grandview. St. Genevieve would lose a pair more in the Brooklyn Bearcat Blast. And in girls soccer, DeSoto would shut out Fredericktown and then lose to Massa County, Illinois, 4-1. More Fredericktown news for you. Girls basketball coach Michael Reitzel is switching programs and becoming the boys head basketball coach starting next season. And in MAC sports, the MAC baseball team on fire. They've won 17 games in a row. The Birds took 4 this week from Metropolitan College and 2 on Sunday against Crowley Ridges Junior Varsity. Mac has 4 games this weekend coming out. The Crowder. Mac softball went 6-2 on the week, defeating East Central and Lincoln Land, but they would lose a pair to Jefferson College. Lady Cards are 18-8 on the season and have weekend home games coming up against St. Louis Community College and State Fair. That is a check of sports right here on the Parkland Podcast.
Parkland Pharmacy, local pharmacy at its finest. Deloge, Farmington, Fredericktown, Ironton, Piedmont, Greenville, customer service. They know how to help you navigate the challenging world of medicine and healthcare. And boy, they just do such a great job.
They are wonderful people to deal with. I know when I go in there to get my prescriptions filled, I'm always greeted by a smile, whether it's Julie, whether it's Carrie, whether it's Ruthie. It doesn't really say, I know them all by name.
You do.
They're just so fun to deal with, and I feel like I'm mattered. I'm not just another customer when I go to Parkland Pharmacy. I go to the Farmington store. I know you go to the one in Deloge. They have locations throughout Southeast Missouri, and customer service is their number one priority.
And delivery, too. And I know those delivery drivers were going above and beyond when we had all that bad weather.
Yes, they did.
Kudos to them. And again, just another example of the great service you always get at Parkland Pharmacy.
Heimberger Construction, HeimbergerConstruction.com. They have been building beautiful buildings in our area since 1978, Mark Tody, and they have those Butler buildings.
The Butler buildings are the best metal building system on the market, and the only buildings that have a pre-punched roof system and standard 360-degree roof seam for their standing seam roof. Jennifer Heimberger, who runs Heimberger Construction, does a fabulous job, and she really cares about the area. She gets involved in a whole lot of things in the community. I know she's supporting a Little League baseball team. That's one of her current things, which is just really awesome. So Jennifer, she's been to a couple of Kansas City Chiefs football games, which makes me really jealous.
Yeah, and I feel really bad for her. I hope she's gotten over the loss.
She's still a little bitter, but aren't we all?
Exactly. Anyways, HeimbergerConstruction.com. Check out the beautiful work they've done, not only around the Parkland, but around the region. HeimbergerConstruction.com, 431-4387.
Do you often ask others to repeat themselves? Is the TV volume creeping up higher? Hi, I'm Dr. Karen Melton, and it could be time to have your hearing checked. Hearing loss happens gradually, making it hard to notice. At Hearing Care Partners, we offer thorough hearing evaluations that uncover even subtle changes in your hearing over time. Early detection can improve your hearing and your life. Start prioritizing your hearing today. Schedule your appointment now at hearingcarepartners.com. At Hearing Care Partners, we listen so you can hear.
Back on the Parkland Podcast as we continue to look at the mayoral race in the city of Park Hills. And joining us now in the barn, we have David Easter. David is a candidate for mayor of Park Hills. He's currently an alderperson in the city of Park Hills. You've also been the mayor of Park Hills in the past, so you have a bit of a history when it comes to public service. First off, thanks so much for joining us, and we appreciate your time today.
Well, it's good seeing you guys again. It's been a while.
Yeah, we both got out of radio. One of us voluntarily, one of us not so voluntarily, but we're podcasting now and enjoying life.
Well, you're greatly missed.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I guess my first question to you, and this is one that I'm sure you can expound on a lot and probably get asked a few times. Why did you decide to run for mayor again?
Well, basically, I think civility. I believe that there are, this position calls for civility and even-temperedness, and not to be out there telling people what they should think. It should be the opposite way. People should be telling the government what they should be thinking, what the issues are and what the viewpoints are and the concerns. When you have somebody that, just like I got a phone call Monday, somebody was concerned about a certain item. I don't want to broadcast it here, but I said, I'm just curious, how long has this been going on? I said 2 years. I said, why did you wait 2 years to call? He said, well, I did call a certain person, but they never got back with me. Well, 2 years is kind of on you when you wait that long to get an answer. But I contacted the proper authorities, found out his answer, had the proper authorities to take action, and within a few days the problem was solved. And I called him back, as a follow-up call to make sure that he was satisfied, and he was. That's just how I do it. Now, I know in today's technology we all have cell phones, and we use this and that to keep track. 20 years, it's still this, and it's still this.
Yeah,
I
pen and
mean,
paper.
it's right here.
Yeah.
I've got his notes. I've got a note telling myself to call him back on something else that I need to talk to him about. But it stays in my pocket till the situation gets settled.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that I bring to the people. I had the senior center was getting hot and heavy in discussion, and it was concerning some of the people who were there, and they weren't getting, in my opinion, the answers they wanted, because one came over that supposedly represented the group, I believe he did, and said, I heard that you're a person that we can talk to. I said, well, thank you, because that's the repetition I want. I want you to be able to come in and talk to me and tell me what your concerns are. And we talked about it and assured them that these were all basically Facebook rumors and not to be concerned about X, Y, and Z. I did tell them, and another person that called me up a few days later, I did say, we got a roof problem over there, and we're going to have to address this sooner or later, because we can't have a bad roof over seniors. So that's going to be down the line to appropriate certain amounts of money to go in there and get that roof completely repaired. It's been done, but apparently it needs to be, fixed up again. So things like that concerns me, and I'm very fortunate to have been reelected several times as councilman. You mentioned me being mayor. That was from 2009 to 2017, 2 terms, and I've been councilman, if I count correctly, 9 years non-consecutively over the years. Lost a few, won a few. It depends on who turns out and all that.
So you're not just a former mayor and a current alderman, you're also a business owner. So economic development, whether it's through small business or the industrial park, that's got to be a huge priority for you.
Oh, we always keep track of that. I mean, when I was mayor and, of course, as councilman, and keeping up to date, we get informed, of course. It's great. We got a great city administrator that we hired, Zach Franklin. He has done a tremendous job finding grants, getting money to get paid for sidewalks and streets and various other projects over the last year to 2 years. I forget exactly when he came in, within that time period. And economic development is something that, another thing that you two might not remember, was I was also president of the Downtown Park Hills Association for 14 years straight. That was where your peers elect you to run it, and that was actually the number one goal of that organization, is to find and help businesses to come in and make it a friendly environment, so that when you come in, it's not going to be nickel and dime you to death with various situations. That's kind of a side joke with me, because when Hulsey Properties first went in, it was my last year as mayor, and they came in and bought out the Y Apartments across the street from my store. Mm-hmm. And they went in, it took, I think it was roughly 3 years before they gutted it out and fixed it up to be what it is today, sensational. But my joke to one of my people that inspect buildings, I said, now don't be nickel and diming these guys to death. If the manual says it takes 4 screws for a doorknob and they only put in 3, I think we can accept that, okay? Nothing hazardous or anything of that nature, but let's not, be too stuck on regulations. That was a false rumor that Park Hills, unfortunately, was saddled with before I even became mayor, was that we don't want businesses. What? And right. we do things to keep businesses out. What? I mean, no. And I think with the last two city administrators, we've proven that false. That's Downtown Park Hills Association president during that time, which Chris Hulsey has taken over and is doing a fine job. I think we're pretty positive, especially when you look around and see a couple of restaurants that came in when I was mayor, and the other businesses that came in. I don't want to start naming them because it's just the fact that there's been vast improvements with everybody working together for that. I mean, I will mention, the coffee shop and the ice cream parlor, that was brought in by the Hulseys. But and we got a new bar next door to my store.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just growth, and that's the whole thing. You bring what you can in, and we're not stopping. My dream project was, if you remember, the race grounds.
Yes.
And I cannot talk about specifics.
Mm-hmm.
I could talk about my specific back in the day, which the administration that replaced me dropped the ball and buried it. But that dream is not dead. I can tell you that much right now, either as councilman or as mayor. Or there's still some things that can go on and will go on in the future, whether I'm around or not. But that's something that I really can look forward to, whether I'm still councilman or if I'm mayor.
David Easter, what's the biggest challenge facing Park Hills moving forward?
The biggest challenge is probably money. Now, we've gone...
That's everybody's biggest challenge.
Well, I mean, that was almost too easy, sir. It's always been money.
But it's true, absolutely.
But, we got the dispensary in a couple of years ago, and that's brought in a lot of revenue. The last time I looked at sales tax, which I believe was at the end of last year, with the businesses continuing to come in and stay in and making money, that's important, is the sales tax collection has gone up. The people in Park Hills took my initiative when I was mayor about the increase in the sales tax to pay for the fire truck during that time when I was mayor. They passed it. It had a 10-year sunshine on it so that people could vote on it again in 10 years, where they did last year, with one change is to make that tax permanent. That was the council, of course, part of it, to okay that. And the people went in, they voted for it, and it's the fire, as I call it, the fire department tax is on the books now, and will be there until, one day somebody wants to repeal it. But when I was mayor, that money went for a new fire truck, and so much money was collected during that time that this is just a rough estimate. I don't want anybody to start digging around the files and say, oh, no, it was 8 years, not 7 or whatever. But the money we collected, there was 7 years worth of money that paid off the fire truck, and then there was 3 years, averages of paying for fire department equipment. So, of course, all the payments are dispersed throughout the 10 years. Mm-hmm. But, there was enough money left over in order to do exactly what I hope, pay off the fire truck and get the fire department some up-to-date equipment.
I wanted to ask you about your thoughts on ReWorld. Obviously, the last Park Hills City Council meeting devoted to a public hearing to let residents voice their concerns about that. How did you feel that went, and how do you feel this whole process has been handled?
ReWorld, it seems like it's the most popular song at the prom this season.
I know, right?
That is one situation which, to actually go back to answer that last question first, I thought it went real well. The whole purpose was, of course, to have the citizens to say what they wanted to say, voice their opinion, bring in their evidence and their experience with, not with this company in particular, but other companies like it in their lifetime. I really thought that it was a good experience for all. I didn't take any of the comments personally. You can't do that in this business. It's just people that have information. They read stuff on Facebook. Some of it's not true. I'll dispel one rumor right now. If anybody got paid off that works for the government in the city of Park Hills, I'm still waiting for my check, okay? I don't know where that comes from,
Right.
but I can assure you anybody gets caught doing that, they're not going to be anywhere near that city hall. Wouldn't be just me, but the people in power would definitely make sure that these people be dismissed. And even the council itself would not tolerate anything like this. I can tell you real quick that when I was mayor, in 8 years, I was approached 5 times to, hey, Dave, here's $5,000 if you'll do this for me. It's like, no, it's not worth it. No, go away. There was one that tried to bribe me for a high position in the city government. And it was kind of a joke because after this person left, it was me and the city administrator that this person said this to. And I said, you know what, that person, 2 things that person did wrong. You know what it was? So, well, 1, you can't be bribed. Good. Number 2, that person did it in front of a witness. I said, that's immaterial, but you're right. But no, seriously, there are rules and regulations that's even beyond the council's control. Mm-hmm. And you have to be very careful about what you can and can't do because, as one person stated at that council meeting, if you're going to send in regulators or people to inspect and make sure that they're following the rules that they're supposed to be following, if they get fined, they can just pay it off. It's a sneeze to them. And the opposite is true, too. If the council breaks any laws concerning ReWorld and they're right to come in, and if they haven't done anything wrong in the city, I'm not talking about all the other places allegedly, I'm talking about in this city, they haven't broken any laws, and we say, no, you're going to get out, and we don't want you, you're looking at a good lawsuit right there. Mm-hmm. Because it's like I told somebody the other day, if you want to buy a house and I'm the owner of the house and you come to me and you're legit, you got the money and you want to buy my house, I say, I don't like you, Jason. I don't want you to buy my house. Well, why? Because I just don't like you. Well, we got a lawsuit because that's discrimination on a different scale. So you have to be very careful about what you're doing here. And if there is a specific law or something that the council can look at, we're by all means ready to look at it. But you have to be real careful because this is an industrial park. That's not like somebody putting in some type of store that you don't want. If there's one thing, if I remember correctly, and that's just been changed since I've been mayor, there is one store that I'm just waiting for somebody to put it in because we've got it banned in the books. It's the only type of store, and I'm not going to go into details because I know as soon as I say this in a month, somebody's going to challenge this. But there is one store that is completely banned. And no, it's not a porn store either.
Okay.
But that was one of the things I took care of the second year or so of my councilmanship, 2003 or 2004, was putting in Farmington got their Dr. John's off on the highway, and they didn't have any regulations or ordinances about it. So we looked into it, and I was the one that helped regulate. Now, you can't ban. Now, that's important. You cannot ban a business, but you can regulate it. And that's basically the situation I see with ReWorld.
Interesting.
So you got 2.
Yes.
I know as he started to speak. And,
Go ahead, Mark.
No, I was just going to say, as we kind of wrap this up, you've got 3 people running for mayor. You've got the ReWorld situation. All these new businesses coming in Park Hills. This is really an exciting time for the city.
Yes, it is. And looking forward to continue either as mayor or councilman. There's just 3 basic words that I go by, which is progress, growth, and improvement. Those are my goals, and it always has been. Now we're facing a situation where we're solvent, we're pretty good, but we got some big projects coming down the road that we have to look at, and it's time to pay the piper for waterworks. You know, we got word that we need to replace the lead pipes, and we've got to fix that wastewater station. There's a lot of things that involves that, but our city administrator is looking at various grants, and yes, I know the $100 million thing got out there and swishing around in people's brains, and what are we going to do about this and that? But like I said, we have to look at it. We have to see how to reduce the costs, and through grants and various other projects, we can do it. But it's going to have to be well planned. It's going to have to be, you can't dig up pipes without digging up a street.
Yeah.
But lead pipes have to be replaced eventually. We have something like a 10-year window, unless that's changed since last I talked to the city administrator. But the wastewater plant, John Black has told us when he was in charge, and others, that we can't patch it anymore. It's like the swimming pool. Dooley Poly did a great job, but we can't patch. We got to replace. We got to work on it. So that's going to be the biggest project for any mayor for the next 10 years, and along with the council and the city administrator. It's just one of those things that, okay, we got to roll up the sleeves, see what the situation is. I mean, this cannot be ignored any longer, and we're not.
Here's one more softball question for you before we let you go. Right on a tee for you. Why should people vote for David Easter for mayor of Park Hills?
Why not? I think I bring stability, experience, and knowledge. I mean, you can't be working in this field for almost 2 decades without learning something. I had the patience with people. Even if they yell at you, you do not yell back. I had 8 years as mayor that we never got sued. Let's take a look at that one. Okay, so there's people that over the history of years you might not like. They're still citizens of Park Hills. Mm-hmm. You have to treat people with respect. And I believe I can do that. I've proven I can do it. I've done it as mayor. I've done it as on the city council as a councilman. And I thoroughly believe that this is something that I have proven I have done in the past. I can do it again. I'm doing it right now. And that's why some people come to me and tell me they're not satisfied with somebody or somebody that's supposed to represent them. They're not getting the answers they believe that they could be revealed. I hesitate the word transparency because there are certain things that you just can't tell right up front. Like if a new business is going in and they want to buy a certain land somewhere, well, that's between the business and the landowner, but it could be where somebody could come in hypothetically and buy that land before the business gets there and then double the price. Mm-hmm. So some of these things has to be held back a little bit until we can reveal it. When you're talking about employees, or job interviews, things like that, you have to do that in private because you have to talk freely. You have to discuss their backgrounds and things of that nature, how you feel about it, what experience you've had with the person, what are you looking for in the field, and if a relative is on the program, where you're going to have to look at that too. Excuse me, meaning that someone's related to somebody gets a job with the city. You got to be careful. Mm-hmm. Sometimes,
and as you mentioned that too, I want to just real quick ask you and Stacy Easter are not related, correct?
The closest I have found out is that we are probably fourth cousins.
Fourth cousins. Okay.
By marriage.
Okay.
So there is no blood.
Okay.
And she made that clear last time she ran against me. So that was in a newspaper article.
Right.
But yeah, we get along. Don't think this is animosity. I don't
Sure.
I don't want to leave that impression. And another thing that I want to point out that I believe you interviewed me about this a long time ago. As when I was councilman, I wanted to find out why the American flags were no longer flown when Flat River did it, and then we replaced the sidewalks, the roller coaster sidewalks in downtown Park Hills, and why the flags never came back. And the reason for that, they forgot to put the holes back in the sidewalks. So I took it upon myself to go behind the scenes. I asked a few people, some fellow council people after meetings, and, said, why don't you talk to the Boy Scouts? I did. It was Tommy Burns, who was Scoutmaster at the time. He came to the council. They gave him, I think it was $300 appropriation to go out and, do holes and get the. I don't know if he had flags or if he had to buy it with that $300. It's been too long, honestly. I don't remember. And the flags for the Boy Scouts, as each Scoutmaster came in, we put them up. Then they disappeared. What happened? Boy Scouts disbanded. Long story short. Took me about a year to find the flags, which by coincidence was only a block down from my store,
Right.
and took me about a year to find them and find somebody to try to do them, and then the flags were declared the property of the Boy Scouts in Deloge, and so talking to the mayor, we compromised, and with the city administrator, we got the city to put the flags out now for all the federal holidays.
Good.
So nobody really cared or, about where the flags were, or I was told by one organization, it's not our job. And I won't go into details about that, but that was kind of discerning. But here we are. The flags are back. I'm proud of that. If I die tonight, that's what I want to be remembered for anything, is now we've got the flags waving again the way they should. And that's, I hate to use the word proud, but yeah, that's probably the proudest thing I've done for this city, because it's something that everybody can look and enjoy.
Very good. How do people find out more about your campaign?
Well, I do have the Facebook page under David Easter. It's open, and that's the best way. And of course, always be watching out for other sources of media, because I am all over the place here and there. So I want to thank everybody, no matter what happens, for their support and contacting me. The one thing since we're getting near the end, the one thing I want to say for sure is vote. That's a major thing that gets me, is that 7 to 10% only goes out to vote. There are eligible voters. You don't like the government you got? Well, did you vote? That means not just the city, but county, state, and federal. If you got gripes, did you go out and vote? There's no other way. If I remember correctly, for Park Hills, we just got the mayor and the council, and that's it.
Right.
It won't take you. I'd be surprised if it took you 5 minutes. Of course, if you go at noontime, the line's going to be there. But I'm just guessing. I never went at noon, but from what they tell me.
Right.
But yeah, voting is essential, and it's very important to do that one way or the other.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And will you be at the Park Hills Leadington Meet the Candidates event on April 2nd?
You better believe it.
Okay, great.
Go ahead and repeat that. It's April the
4th, is that right?
I thought it was the 3rd.
The 3rd.
The
It's
Thursday.
The Thursday before the election.
Yes.
And that will be on April the 3rd at Central High School. And that starts at 6 o'clock. Good to see you, sir. I'm so
Same
glad
here.
you dressed up for this as well.
Well, it could have gone either way. It could-
Right.
like either the way it did or a funeral. So
Either way, you're covered.
that's right. Well, not with dirt yet,
Well-
but
I knew we'd get a good joke in there. David Easter, so good to see you. Thanks so much
Same
for your
here.
time.
Thank you.
All right, David Easter, councilman. He is running for mayor of Park Hills, and he is our guest here on the Parkland Podcast. It's time to learn more about Visions of Hope.
And go racing.
And go racing and improve our drip, as the kids say, and have better clothes. All of these things could be accomplished, and you can help folks with autism all over the spectrum with this fine organization. And joining us here today from Visions, we have Luann Honerkamp and Jessica Grunewald. Thank you, ladies. You wore matching shirts today.
It wasn't even on purpose.
Oh, well, really? Wow, good job. Very busy time coming up for your organization. Some big events will be taking place soon. But first off, I kind of want to start from the top and talk about Visions of Hope and kind of how that all got started, Luann.
Yeah, so Visions of Hope is our training program, and that takes place at Dress to Impress in Farmington. And we started Visions of Hope because Jessica has two boys who are on the autism spectrum, and they're also my godsons. And what we were able to do is, well, God actually called, not what we were able to do, sorry. God actually called us to do this and said we need to do something. And so we started researching. That's probably been 12 years ago, something like that. And what that would look like. And so what we landed on was a vocational training program because so many, actually 85% of adults with autism are either unemployed or underemployed. And so we thought, let's see if we can level the playing field for this population and see if we can help them to gain and keep meaningful employment.
Yeah, literally kids who are on the autism spectrum were getting out of high school and they really had nowhere to go, did they?
Really, there were no resources available for them. And so the options were kind of, well, you can stay at home and watch TV, which I was not okay with for Garrett and Morgan for sure. And so that has led into, we provide 120 hours of work experience there in the store. We also do, have class 1 day a week where they are learning how to, what's appropriate in the workplace. They're learning how to fill out applications. They're learning how to do mock interviews. We are learning lots of social skills. And then we also go on field trips once a month. And so those field trips are to local businesses to help them learn what's in our area and some maybe just to get some ideas of what they might like to do when they are able to go to work. And so we have graduated, I believe it is 63 interns from our program. And so we're getting ready to graduate another 9 here in May. Super excited about that. But we have just been blessed to be able to provide them with opportunities that maybe they wouldn't otherwise have.
It's a fantastic program, and I've seen firsthand students of mine that have ended up in the program and have learned so much. And Jessica, just because someone is on the spectrum doesn't mean they can't work. There are things that they can do, and there are things that I think they can do better than an average everyday person just because of that extreme focus. Kind of talk a little bit about what you see with these young people as they progress and how you're able to find a place for them in society.
Sure. Well, at Dress to Impress, we're an upscale resale clothing store. So that's where they get their training at hands-on. And they have a really great attention to detail.
Yes.
And it's really exciting to see from the get-go, from when they start to when they finish, how much confidence they've gained. And to know that they can and they are, full of potential, that they can do things, even things maybe their parents thought they couldn't do. We hold them to higher standards. And the higher standard you hold, the more they have to reach for, right? And it's a safe place for them to learn, for them to fail, and for them to learn from those mistakes, or even just learning the ins and outs of how to interact with people, how to follow directions, how to really take pride in what you do. And so it's really exciting to see all those things, for the community to be able to see that, and that they are making a huge impact, not only on these kids' lives, but on their families' lives and on the communities that they live in. It's not just Farmington, it's all surrounding communities that are coming through our program. And I mean, anybody could come if they have transportation. So even if they were in a different state, obviously they could come. But it's just exciting to see them grow and to be able to show people that they have a lot to give to our society.
By the way, on a side note, I want to thank you for keeping me fully clothed for the past 5 or 6 years when you were open, because 90% of what I wore to work over the last 5, 6, 7 years came from dress to impress. So, but that's just that leads me into, it takes money to do the things you want to do, and the store is a good way of doing that. But you've got a couple of events coming up that are also going to bring awareness as well as financial support to you.
Absolutely. I'll start with the car show. So Autos for Autism has, I'm not sure what number of car show this is, might be 7th or 8th, but we have a car show each year, which is really exciting because everybody loves cars. And it is so fun to see the car community come together and to support great causes. There'll be lots of family fun and food and trophies and music, live music. And it's just really great to see all makes and models come out, because I've loved cars growing up with my dad. He was a real car person, so we'd go to car shows all the time. But it's amazing to see the community come out, support us, and that all the family can be a part of it. And this year will be at the Methodist Church on North Street, but there, you can see very visibly. Mm-hmm. And it is on April 12th from 10 to 3. And there's lots of room left for registration. Just register the day of, 10 to 12, I believe. But it's a really exciting time. And we will have face painting for the kids, too.
Oh. And barbecue.
Oh, and barbecue, yes.
Ooh, yes. And again,
I'm sold.
Yeah, great event, great location. Everybody's going to be driving by, checking that out there on Karsh Boulevard. And then the weekend following, right now, that is the big event that takes place, Autos for Autism. How many years is this event up to now?
This is our 10th year of doing Autos for Autism. Yeah, we're super excited. So that's going to be April the 19th, and gates will open at...
they open at 8, but the racing starts at 10.
Yeah. And so we have concessions, we've got silent auction, we'll have the radio station there. We're going to have, there's just so much to do. I will put out there, so one of our board members is...
she's a ringer.
Which one?
Tanya.
Oh, no.
We'll get to her.
Tanya is a ringer. No, Joseph, actually. And he wanted us to be sure to let parents know that if you have somebody who's on the spectrum and you were thinking about bringing them, it can be a little bit of a sensory overload. And so some kids are, definitely more sensitive to sound. And so this might not be the event that you want to come to if you have sound sensitivities, because it is very loud. But we welcome anybody to come, but he wanted us to kind of give out that little public service announcement.
Well, we do provide the sound canceling headphones, but they only cancel so much.
Right.
And there will be a bounce house kids area as well. That's a lot of fun for the kids.
So this is our biggest fundraiser of the year, and we work on it. We usually start like in the beginning of the year and start working on it. It's been a great event. It's been our biggest fundraiser, and it's just so exciting. And I think Jessica has our sponsors to mention.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to mention our sponsors, but I also get back to Tanya Johnson. She's the one that created this.
Yes.
So she's a drag racer, but she's raced all different kinds of racing. And she was in a calendar contest.
Yes, she was. Hubba.
And she said if she won, she was going to put on a big smoke show. So she didn't know what God had in mind, but she started Autos for Autism so that we would be fully funded and not have to go into debt to start this. We've never had to borrow money. And so she is the founder of Autos for Autism, has brought in, I don't even know how much money, but I should know that total, but it's a lot. And we're so thankful to her and her heart for this and others. So want to thank our class sponsors, Dress to Impress Resale Boutique, Diamonds and More, Hope for Autism, Keen Performance, Shared Blessings, and then our platinum sponsors, B104 Radio, Blue Creek Production, Bonterre Drag Strip, which has new wonderful owners. We're excited about that.
Jeremy and Carrie.
Yes, we've met with them, and they are amazing. Looking forward to what all they do at the drag strip there. Buffalo Wild Wings, Discover Farmington, First State Community Bank Farmington, Full Throttle Truck Centers, J98 The Boot, N&N Performance, Parkland Chapel, Pettis Automotive, Ron Merrill, St. Francis County Board for Developmentally Disabled, St. Joe Men's Club for Men, State Farm Insurance, Chris Morrison, Whispering Woods Photography. And there's also many more gold, silver, friends. We couldn't do it without these guys.
This is an all-day event, right?
Yes.
We get there about 7 a.m. and we leave there sometimes midnight.
You don't have to stay that long.
No.
So, if for someone who's never been to an event like this at a drag strip, kind of tell us what happens and some of the different aspects that you have that day.
Sure. So you'll be in line to come in the gate. People will be greeting you and excited that you're there. You'll be helped being parked. And then there is our booths explaining what we do. There's registration for all the racers there. There'll be lots of racers getting ready and getting their cars all, finalized. And then there will be the kids' games and stuff starts at 10. The food is already ready at 10 as well, I believe. And there will be silent auction items available and a 50-50, I think, until like 4 o'clock. And the racers will have their meeting, and then they'll do a little bit of testing, I think, and then start the races. So it's a fun event. If you like the smell of race fuel, you'll love it. That's a weird smell, but
I love it.
It's
a
great
sweet smell, yeah.
And then the rumble of the cars just goes right through you. It's really exciting to see everybody come together and have a great time.
And the racers come from all over. They're not just St. Francis County.
Oh, no, we have people from other states who come just for this event, yeah.
And how many typically competitors do you have?
I think last year, I wasn't there last year because I was having a baby, but did you have
Good
70?
excuse.
I think so.
70.
I think 70
Yeah,
is
there
right.
may be more this year. There's excitement with new ownership and all that, but we have loved Jared for all the years that the previous owner, he's done a phenomenal job supporting us.
Yeah, and I was it the deal whenever Jared decided to sell it that you guys had to have your Saturday, right?
That's
Right.
right. They
We
tried
fought
to change it. We're
tooth
like,
and nail.
no.
Third Saturday of April every year.
Yes, every year. And so all of these cars will be competing, all these drivers, and again, all raising money for a fantastic cause. You kind of touched on it a little bit ago, but I want to highlight it as well. With the training program and the peers program, you have some graduations coming up. Tell us about those.
We do. So we have 9 interns who are in the program right now. Those range from adults to we have kids from North County. We also have homeschool kids. And so they will actually be graduating on, I don't remember the exact date, but it's in May, the 1st of May. And they will actually go away with a portfolio that we've helped develop, and that includes things that job opportunities that they think they might be interested in. It includes their application, it includes their resume, it includes what they've excelled in and other things that maybe they could use more work in, and they'll be able to take that and use that when they go to job interviews, or use it even just to be able to fill out applications or to help build their resume so that they can use that. They also are able to use the the work experience that they use as work experience on their application. So that's sometimes they've never had a job before, and if people see that you've not had any experience, that can be a deficit. So sometimes having that work experience at Dress to Impress helps to encourage employers to maybe take another look at that. So they'll get to come and be a part of graduation. We hope that as many people as can come and support them and celebrate all that they've accomplished.
Just a personal story. I've seen firsthand what a difference you two have made with your program. I do not remember the young lady's name. You brought her into the radio station to do an interview.
Lauren,
very reserved, very quiet. I asked her mom's name at one point in the interview, and she said...
On the radio.
Yeah,
live.
on the radio, and she said,
Why do you need to know that? But I mean, she was really reserved. She was not going to open up. No. But another fundraising event that you do is Inspiration on the Runway. And she was a part of that one year. And models, many of them are students of Visions of Hope, walk through the crowd displaying the clothing that is there from Dress to Impress. And I was right in front of her or right behind her, but I know when she got done walking, she went behind the curtain and she was jumping up and down like a giddy little teenage girl. She was so excited. And it's like, this is the same girl that basically gave me the evil stink eye for asking her mom's name. And now she was it was unbelievable, the difference, something like what you all are doing can make.
And she has a job that she enjoys and is amazing.
She's been working since graduation.
Yeah.
Same job.
Yeah.
I just love that story.
Yeah. We didn't get to mention Peers that much. It's kind of a separate thing. Sure. But go ahead, Luann.
So Peers is a program that I received training in from UCLA, and it is basically for teens and adults on how to make and maintain friendships. And we have seen just phenomenal progress with this program. It's a 16-week program, and it can be in person or via Zoom. And they learn very concrete skills. So you and I might know when we're accepted into a conversation, but they don't know that. They don't see what the facial expressions or the body language. They're not able to always read that or know what the rules are for that. And so it teaches very basic things from how to know if you're invited into a conversation, how to know when you need to leave a conversation, how to start a conversation. We talk about, there's a whole 4 weeks on dating for the adult group and what that looks like.
Bullying.
Oh, yeah, there's one on bullying. There's one on sports.
Oh, yeah.
On
Sportsmanship.
being good sports. Having good sportsmanship. There are, it really is just, the kids are it's kids and adults. And so they come and they have to bring someone with them. So we call that other person a social coach. And so the social coach can be an adult that maybe they live with. It could be a parent, an older sibling, something like that. But so they're learning, the social coach is learning the same skills that the young people are, but they're also learning how to support them. So after the program is over, how to support them in that. They have homework from the first week, so they have to learn how to make a phone call to someone else in the group, and they're doing that in order to find out how to find common interests. And so we learn about what a good friend looks like, what person you maybe shouldn't become friends with because they're treating you in a certain way, or this is someone that's trying to take advantage of you. We cover social media. We cover, you name it, the program really covers it and covers it well in a way that they can understand and take that and use that. So we have graduation of that coming up. That'll be on the 31st. And it has just been super exciting to see not only the progress in the kids and the adults who have attended, but especially their social coaches.
Yes.
And helping them to understand, oh, I had no idea my kids struggled with that, or I didn't realize that was such a big issue. And so it has been a growing process, I think, for the kids and the adults and then the social coaches, but it's super exciting.
What are the dates and times for your two big events coming up again?
Sure. The car show is April 12th, and Autos for Autism is April 19th. So April 12th, we're in Farmington at the Memorial United Methodist Church. And then for autos, we're at the Bonterre Drag Strip.
Very good. How can folks find you online?
We are everywhere. No.
So
we have Hope for Autism on Facebook, Dress to Impress, Visions of Hope, Autos for Autism. We have a website, which is hopeforautism.org. We have the storefront, which is Dress to Impress at 117 East Columbia Street. You can call us at 573-664-1711. And we just invite you to come see us, come learn about what programs we have. You can contact us via the website or via those Facebook pages. And then we wanted to share a little inspiration that we have for the programs.
So one of the things that we try to do is God has called us to this, and so to be a light in our community. And the verse that we have is, in the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. And I just want us to, in everything that we do and say, just to bring honor and glory to God and to serve others. And that really is why we're there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ladies, thanks so much for what you do and what you've done and how you've helped so many people. And you're also very, very easy to talk to, which helps for a podcast as well.
Well, we really enjoy it.
And you guys make it easy, too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We really do appreciate this time and opportunity just to get the word out. And so thank you guys so much.
Very good. Luann Honerkamp, Jessica Grunewald, joining us from Visions of Hope. Hope for Autism, the big car show, Autos for Autism, coming up. Check them out online.
They said it couldn't be done. They said the world would never accept a cookie this long, or pretzel, and probably not a churro. They also said, under no circumstances should those really long and delicious treats be wildly affordable. Then we said, but we already made them. And they are. Introducing the incredible new foot-long sidekicks. Get one at Subway today.
Farmington, Missouri, your destination for a perfect weekend getaway. Dine in at one of our quality restaurants or visit one of our surrounding wineries. Farmington offers a variety of parks and other recreational leisure time activities. See some sights, have some fun, and go wherever your heart takes you. Sounds like a lot of fun, so get a room and stay a while. All this and more awaits you just 60 miles south of St. Louis. Discover Farmington today.
Back on the Parkland podcast, we are talking about CASA of the Parkland. Joining us here is JoAnna Watts, making another appearance at the barn. Welcome back. Good to see you.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning. And you brought one of the big power couples of Farmington these days. We have Chris and Jennifer Morrison in studio. Thank you so much for coming on.
Great to be at the barn.
Yeah.
It's my kind of room. I don't have these at home, so she doesn't let me. So it's nice.
And currently not seen is your daughter. She is here with us as well.
She is hanging out with me today.
Awesome. Bring your daughter to work day.
Yes.
Always a good time. JoAnna, I wanted to start things off with CASA of the Parkland celebrating their 5th anniversary this month.
Yes.
Folks have probably driven by the CASA house. They probably heard people talk about it, but maybe they don't know exactly what your organization does. Kind of tell us about CASA of the Parkland and this great, great service you provide.
Yeah, absolutely. So CASA is an acronym for Court-Appointed Special Advocates, and we are made up of volunteers from our community who then work with children who are in foster care because of abuse or neglect, and also the courts. So the court appoints them, and our CASAs go and visit with them every month, and they really just get to know who they are and what the circumstances are in their life, what their wishes are, and advocate for their best interest, and so that they can be put in a safe and permanent home as quickly as possible. They really are a support to them in so many ways, and we serve the 24th Circuit, so it's 4 counties, St. Francis, Washington, Madison, and St. Genevieve counties.
You need the support of the business community to accomplish your mission, and Chris Morrison was one of the first to jump up and said, I want to be a part of this.
Absolutely. I was thinking about this before coming in today, and I remember the day he called me. I was at the CVS, and he called, and he had this idea with State Farm wanting to partner. He had heard about CASA from his wife, Jennifer, and nobody had ever called us wanting to donate money, or because we were so new, or just to partner in some way. And so, I stopped and parked and listened and just said, yes, I would love to do this. And, because of their support, it really introduced CASA into the community and this needed service for these children who weren't being served in this way, because what we do is unique. Nobody else does what CASA does. And, we were able to work on the State Farm neighborhood grant, and, that was a whole process.
Well, Chris and Jen, there are about 1,000 great causes in this area you can support, and I know because you're behind just about all of them. But what was it about this one that really struck a chord with you?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was just with Jen and what she did for a career, as a school counselor for 13 years. Personally, I'm probably naive. I like to see the good in people and things, and I don't like to think there's bad in the world. But she would come home with these stories about kids and the things they were experiencing, and reality hit me. I was telling her on the way in, I grew up, I had a single mom. She didn't make a lot of money, but I went to bed every night. I woke up every day knowing I was loved, right? And I thought every kid experienced that. And, you hear these stories and they don't. So it was something that, again, watching her, what she went through, how she advocated for all these kids. And then with JoAnna's message on CASA, it was just like a natural fit of something that, I'm passionate about trying to help.
Jen, anything you wanted to add to that?
No.
But Jen in particular, I mean, with that background and with the foster care system, a lot of times too, these students are switching schools, which adds another wrinkle to things. How can programs like this benefit these transitions and make things a little easier for them?
I was just teasing. But
Oh.
I'm kidding. Absolutely, like just having a person that you know is safe and reliable that you can turn to when you need it, and just to be able to collaborate. You're limited, of course, with the communication that you can do between school and volunteers and things, but just having that resource and that contact and just to help, that process a little bit, especially because when you are changing schools a lot, you can lose information. You can not have records. You can, there's a lot of things that can set a kid back where they feel like they just don't have any successes. And so organizations like this are vital just to make students feel supported and know that they can do it and believe in themselves that they can finish whatever it is, whether it's in the personal life or with school. So,
Chris, I want you to brag a little bit about this gal right here. Help the Hungry has Chris Landrum.
Right.
Habitat for Humanity has Linda Dickerson Bell. Longtime people that can really bring people in to support your cause. How important is it to have somebody at the forefront that can really get the mission out there? Absolutely. I mean, she's been involved since she came into the community, and just coming to the things like Rotary Kiwanis and being able to communicate the message, and bringing, the passion she has for it. Her story is incredible, and just the hard work. Look how it's grown. That doesn't always happen just organically. You have to have someone driving the bus, and she's done a great job of that. And as a business owner, you get asked a lot on how to help, and you want to help everybody. But when you see the leadership that's there, you feel more comfortable helping organizations like that, where the money's going to the right spot, it's going back to the kids, with the right ideas in mind and your heart in the right spot. So, for me personally, I think JoAnna, and she won't take any credit. There's a lot of people involved, but it wouldn't be here 5 years. It wouldn't have the success without that leadership.
And this is an organization that relies on so many volunteers. I know you have a bit of an army in place to help with that, but I bet you could probably use a few more, right?
Absolutely. I mean, and you're right. We have an incredible board of directors. We have an incredible staff. Jerry and Mandy are both fabulous. And we have just the most amazing CASA volunteers. I mean, they not only give of their time, but of their heart. I mean, it really does take heart to do this. And since in the last 5 years, we have helped, almost 100 children, and we have almost 60 volunteers. But when you look at our service area, which is those 4 counties of the 24th Circuit, there's about 500 children that are in foster care. So we need more volunteers. We have a volunteer training class going on right now. We just finished our first week on Thursday. It's a 5-week training. And so from the very beginning, the commitment of our volunteers is there. And they ask great questions. They're very engaged. They do, some online work in between, throughout the week before we meet. And so when they are done and they are sworn in to the court to be appointed to these children, they have a very solid foundation of the work that they're going to do. Our volunteers come from a diverse background, professionally and personally, but it reflects on, the uniqueness and the the differences of the children that they advocate for. We do need more men volunteers because in our area, because in our area, about 50% of the youth that are in care are male. They're boys. And we would love for that to be reflective of our volunteers.
Was it really about a year ago on a kind of a warm, sunny, windy day that the CASA house first opened? That we had the big grand opening?
Yeah, so it's crazy. So it was one of these days where I don't think that I've ever done this before, but I was like, I'm going to pop in and say hi to Chris. I'm just going to check in with him, see how he's doing. I was just on my way to the office, and I just wanted, I don't know, I just got this feeling like I just wanted to go in and just check in. So I did, and he had asked, hey, have you, are you still thinking about doing a CASA house? And because I had talked with various people about this idea that I had, I saw this gap in even services that we were able to provide because we don't have, 500 volunteers and there's 500 children. I was thinking, how can we help more? Even if we don't have the volunteers, how can we help these children? How can we help these families? And, Chris was one of the people that I had talked to, and he just asked, is that something you're still thinking about? And he, again, he's great at listening and understanding what's going on in the community and connecting people together. And so he was able to connect me with people in the city, with Greg Beavers, about this house on A Street. And we went to go see it. And I think you might have said, hey, talking about the house, is it something CASA could use? I probably said yes, just automatically without seeing it. Like, yeah,
we'll
absolutely.
We'll take it. Yeah.
And then what the city of Farmington did was, I thought this was like a 5-year plan, a 5-year goal. It happened in less than 12 months. And they came in and they did all of the updating that was needing to be done. And they made it a home for CASA. And it's now a home that many children and CASAs and the children's parents and families can come to, and they can connect and be together. And, children in foster care, they only can spend sometimes a minimum amount of time with their parents each week. And so to be able to do that in a home setting has just been invaluable.
And you're making use of a United Way grant?
Yeah, so I personally love United Way. CASA does too, but I do. We have a big presentation that we are sponsoring because of United Way. So one thing that we've realized is, life online just is not safe for our youth. And our community, especially parents and educators and just professionals, need to be aware of how our children are being exploited, their vulnerabilities are being exploited. And this presentation, it's called Be Alert, all about ending it before it starts. So it's giving us as adults tools to help these students and help our youth. And because of the United Way grant, we're able to bring this presentation to the community on March 27th, Thursday, March 27th, from 6 to 7:30 at West County Elementary. It is open to the community. We would love for everybody to come. It will be just eye-opening.
Now, biggest question of the day. Has the CASA dog arrived yet?
Dog?
So Jack, his name is Jack. It's a long process to train a dog, a therapy dog or a service dog, but he does spend time at the CASA house. Yes, while he's going through training.
Right.
We love Jack.
He's going to be a big hit, isn't he?
Yes, he already is. Yeah, Jack's wonderful.
Chris, with State Farm, with the Rotary Club, with the different organizations you're involved in, you're able to seek out these organizations. But as JoAnna mentioned, being a good resource for where people should go. I just wanted to see what's next on the Chris Morrison State Fair horizon. What other causes are you looking at to get involved?
It's they just kind of come up, and I think that's the big thing is you just, I never learned how to say no. So when I came down and get in the Rotary and they're like, you want to do this? And yeah, I'll do that. And then you go to these meetings, and we all love meetings. But if you listen, the opportunities that come up are incredible. Going back to the CASA house, we just had a conversation at a city council meeting or a committee meeting. The history museum was using it, the historical group, and they hadn't really utilized it. They'd kind of it had just been sitting there, and from talking to JoAnna, I knew there was an opportunity, and I thought, man, it's next to the library. It's walking distance to the courthouse. Like, that'd be so awesome. And I got to give credit to Greg. We connected the two, and I tell you what, when you give Greg a task, he gets after it, and he's like, we'll do this, we'll do that. And I was like, Greg, I think they have some volunteers and he's like, yeah, we're good. We'll get it all done. And he's got a huge heart, man. He did a great job, and I was so happy to see that. Every time you drive down A Street, you smile just thinking the kids.
We would walk. Greg and I would walk while they were working on, some of the construction guys were working. And Greg would say, hey, do you know what you're doing this for? You know what you're helping with? And he would tell them what we did. And I was like, go Greg.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Well, let me ask you this, Chris. When you get presented with opportunities to get involved in things and you're with your wife, do you just automatically say yes, or do you look over at her first and make sure it's okay?
I have learned. It's taken like 12, 13 years, but no, you want to help everybody. That's the thing, is we never know how. I mean, we're one bad decision, one thing away from happening to be in a lot of these situations, whether whatever it may be. We're all lucky, and I think pouring back into your community is important, because you never know when you're going to need help.
So you've got Festival of Trees coming up, and we'll have you in to talk about that, obviously. But is there anything on the horizon that you'd like to do, maybe you haven't been able to do just yet, but you'd really like to get going?
Oh my goodness, we need like a whole other show. I think sometimes, I have all types of ideas,
right?
All types. Well, I'll shoot my shot, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So there's the house right next to us is a nice little brick house. I know it's occupied right now, but one day, when it's not occupied, it'd be wonderful to maybe combine the two and have just a big clubhouse for CASA to help more than just one family at a time, to hold larger events. Our organization continues to grow, and as it does, that's more children that we can help because we have more volunteers. And eventually, to look at where we were when we first started, because it was just me in just a little office. Now, 5 years later, staff, lots of volunteers helping lots of children in this house. 5 years from now, I'm hoping to triple that, and we're going to need the space to reflect that.
Very good. How can people find out more information about CASA online?
We have a strong presence on social media, on Facebook. So, follow us on Facebook, CASA of the Parkland. But there's also some more information online at casaoftheparkland.org, including ways, to get involved, but also what it means to volunteer. The application is on there. The kind of the job description is on there as well. Just what are those duties of a volunteer, and our contact information. I love talking to people about CASA. I started out as a CASA volunteer when I lived in Tennessee in 2014. Because of that, it really motivated me to go back to school to get my master's in social work because of being a CASA volunteer. It is a life-changing organization for me personally, and for others. I see it every day. I would love to show people the CASA house and really talk about the great work that our volunteers and staff do.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for coming in. Appreciate all three of you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
All right. We got JoAnna Watts, Chris and Jennifer Morrison joining us from CASA of the Parkland right here on the Parkland Podcast. I love Save a Lot at the Parkland. In fact, I believe every Saturday when we record the Parkland Podcast, I get a text from Save a Lot during the show, and you can sign up for those text alerts. There's a super sale going on, and you can take advantage of that at all of your Save a Lot locations in the Parkland, Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, and Farmington.
Yeah, I may have to stop by for that. It's a 99-cent produce super sale, but by the time you see this, it'll be gone. So you need to sign up for these specials. That's the thing. Sign up for these specials when you stop in at your local Save a Lot store, so you can be aware when this exactly happens. And stop by, man. The store is clean. The people are awesome to deal with. The butchers cut the meat fresh every day. And you feel like you're shopping in your own hometown supermarket.
I went there a couple weeks ago, and they, the 5 for $24.99. That day it was 6 for $24.99. So I got like extra meat.
Steal.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are the kind of specials you could see every day. But again, sign up for those text alerts, And you can do that by hopping on their Facebook page. Save a Lot of the lead belts. They'll walk you through that, or the next time you're in the store, you can take care of that as well. Save a Lots at the Parkland, Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, and Farmington. Time for the musical portion of our show, the Parkland podcast. My favorite portion of the show. I think your favorite portion too, right?
It's right up there.
Get these cool albums, and we talk about them, and we have a cool list to tell you about. But let's start with songs first. Mark Toady, what do you got for a song of the week?
Alice Cooper, baby.
Yes.
No More Mr. Nice Guy. Big hit, top 30 hit for him. It's off the $1 Billion Babies album, which was one of his better albums.
Yes.
And that's saying something for Alice Cooper because he had a lot of really good albums. But No More Mr. Nice Guy, my choice for song of the week. And my album, I went way back in the history books for the Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees. This is one of the very first albums I've ever owned. Bought this back, I don't even know if I was 10 years old when I bought this.
Huh.
Oh my gosh. Daydream Believer, Zoe and Zam, They Started a War, blah, 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 blah. Great album. I was just a little squirt with a lot of hair when this album came out. That's my album pick for the week.
Song this week, Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding. That is by Sir Elton John, and that was from the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road album, which is also fantastic.
Yes, it is.
Great tune, comes in at over 8 minutes long, and just the bass work in that song, man.
Everything about that song
is so good. Elton John, Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding. That's my song of the week. For album of the week, I'm bringing out the Fats Domino. And this was, I guess, the legendary music man Fats Domino, kind of a greatest hits album. And it was part of the Candlelight Music Treasury series. Mark, did you have any of these albums back in the day?
Not a single one.
No? Okay. This was like to provide, they had the Beach Boys on there apparently, and a few other artists, but this was my grandma's, and I remember Blueberry Hill was one of her favorite tunes. And I'm walking, yes indeed, I'm talking about you and Steve. So that's some Fats Domino for you here on the music portion. Let's talk about songs. You had a great idea for songs that start slow and end hot, and you used, of course, Freebird as the main example to kind of give people an idea. What other songs that start slow and end hot do you have on your list?
Oh, I've got a whole list. Got some input from my brother Tom. Thank you,
good.
Tom, on this one. One of my favorite is Tina Turner, Ike and Tina, Rolling Down the River.
Oh, yeah.
My brother came up with Green Grass and High Tides Forever from the Outlaws. There's Bohemian Rhapsody from Queen.
Oh, yeah.
Behind Blue Eyes from The Who.
Mm-hmm.
Come Sail Away from Styx. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds from the Beatles. Band on the Run. We could go Stairway to Heaven from Led Zeppelin. Dream On from Aerosmith. The Rolling Stones, You Can't Always Get What You Want. And another really good tune from a group called Live, Lightning Crashes.
Oh, very good. I remember that tune. That was definitely in that. From that era, let's do Only in Dreams from Weezer. That was the last tune on the Blue album. Great song there. For Who, Love Reign Over Me.
Love that tune.
Love that tune as well. That's a great one. Metallica's Fade to Black is another one that does that. Shine On, You Crazy Diamond. Pink Floyd, definitely a song that starts off nice and slow and really rocks it out. Roundabout by Yes, it starts out slow, but only for like 4 measures, and then it takes off like a jet airplane. And then there's a song from the Smashing Pumpkins' first album, Gish, called Bury Me, and it is almost like a study in dynamics in music. It starts off really slow and then kicks in really hard, has some neat stuff. And then a song that does the exact opposite, I would say, would be Layla by Derek and the Dominoes. Starts out with that classic rock riff, and then kind of goes into a piano and musical overture after that.
And if I remember correctly, that guitar lick was not Clapton originally. I think it was Greg Allman.
Yes, that is 100% correct. Good job, sir. Who we interviewing on the next show?
On the next show of the Parkland podcast, we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Joe Gilgore.
Dr. J.
joining us. And speaking of legends, Kent Sissom will also be our guest.
He's pretty legendary in his own right, I guess.
Yes, he is.
Very, very good. Hey, thanks to all of our guests today. We had a full house. We talked about CASA of the Parkland. We talked about Visions of Hope. We talked about the Park Hills mayoral race. We covered a lot of topics today on the Parkland podcast.
And we got plenty more still to come.
All right, so thanks again for always liking, subscribing, and downloading, and we'll see you next week on the Parkland podcast.